Well, what's good is the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing back at you with another one, man. I know I have been MIA the past few days, man. I've been on the road basically since Wednesday, man, getting my babies, doing a road trip, still in the process. We're just at the hotel, heading back to Arizona. Man, so I know I haven't been as active as I should be, but I definitely had to touch up on this, man. First and foremost, I want to get a congratulations to the undisputed champion at 135, bro. We finally have an undisputed champion at 135. Teofimo was not undisputed. George Kambosos was not undisputed. Great shout out to Devin Haney for putting on a great performance, a great, fantastic performance, bro. I was very pleased with his performance. Looked very good. Was able to actually, once he figured Kambosos out by the second or third round, and it just went from there. The point of this video is, if y'all don't remember, I did a video saying that Kambosos makes no sense. Well, the dumb shit that Kambosos says is, well, it's revived again. But for y'all that didn't catch that video, let me rewind and just remind you all the dumb shit that Kambosos says, right? All right. The first thing was calling Devin Haney a rat. Okay. That just, again, that didn't make sense. Because I don't know the definition of a rat in Australia, but in America, is a rat is when you informing, the police. You working with the feds. You working with the police type shit. So I don't know but that's our definition of a rat. He criticized Devin Haney and said because Devin Haney went against his own countrymen, his own American countrymen, right? He criticized Devin Haney, but yet George Kambosos worked with Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao was getting ready to fight Jeff Horn. Yeah. So that's the first dumb thing he said. Okay, that just doesn't make sense. When you work with Pacquiao against your countrymen, but yet you want to try to put this shit out with Devin Haney. Okay. Secondly, you said Devin Haney was a flat-foot fighter. He said when they was describing them, what did he say? What did he say? The flaws are there or whatever. The flaws are there. He's flat-foot. All he does is run around. What sense does that make? That doesn't make sense. How can you be a flat-foot fighter but all you do is run around? That doesn't make sense at all. That just does not make sense. You can't be a flat-foot fighter but all you do is run around. That does not. And he constantly kept, remember that statement though, because he constantly kept saying that Devin Haney was a runner. He constantly kept saying that Devin Haney was a runner. So remember that though, because I'm gonna come back to that. Next thing he said, when he didn't make weight, he said that was the art of deception. This is the art of war. The art of deception. He had that planned. He said, right. Another dumb thing that George Kambosos just continues to say. First and foremost, okay, so how do you purposely miss weight by 3 ounces? How do you purposely do that? Can you please tell me how you purposely do that? How do you purposely come in to miss weight? Why? And then let's just pretend like you did. What benefits does that suit you to act like you miss weight? What benefits does that? Because that doesn't do anything but just make, if anything, that would just help relax Devin Haney. Damn, if you win, you don't get the belts. What benefits does that make? How does that suit you to miss weight? What does that do for you? What is the art of deception? Who are you deceiving? I don't get. And then here's another thing. Kambosos, if you did this on purpose, then first and foremost, why did you have to strip down? Why did you strip down, take your clothes, all your clothes off to weigh in then if this was on purpose? If all this was on purpose, why would you even waste your time to get butt naked in front of a whole bunch of men to weigh in to try to make weight if all this was on purpose? Why would you need to take all your clothes off then if all this was on purpose? If all this was on purpose, why were you looking so frustrated at the weigh-in when the scale was saying that you were overweight? Why were you so angry? Why were you getting so hostile when the scale said that you were 135.3? Why did you strip to the bare minimum in front of all these men if you did this on purpose? If all this was planned, so you mean to tell me you planned to take all your clothes off in front of all these men to weigh in? You planned on doing that? Like, that doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so like that just didn't sit right with me. Here's another thing that he said that didn't make sense. He said that during going back to that face-off, he claimed that Devin Haney was not a real champion. He said, he said he has one half of a belt. He said he doesn't have a real belt. But you're the same person that said Teofimo is not undisputed. You claim that Teofimo was not undisputed, but yet now all of a sudden, now that you beat Teofimo, oh, now Devin Haney's belt is fake. Okay. Devin Haney has a fake belt, but yet there's not a belt for the franchise. It's a status. But now conveniently after you beat Teofimo, now Devin Haney has a fake belt. And make that make sense. All right. Now, you remember when I told you that he said Devin Haney was flat-footed but then a runner? See, this is where it comes back to bite him in the butts. I'm trying not to cuss for YouTube. This is where it comes back and bites you. The whole promotion, he claimed that Devin Haney is a runner. All he does is run, right? They asked Kambosos in the post-fight press conference, did he do anything to surprise you? He had the nerve to say, I thought that he would stand and fight more. Bro, you just said during the whole buildup, you claimed that Devin Haney was a runner. So what do you mean? What do you mean you thought that he would fight more if you just said that he was a runner? You said that all he does is run, even though you claim he was flat-footed. You said that he's a runner, but now all of a sudden they ask you, did he do anything to surprise you? And you say that you thought he would have stood and fought more. But yet you were the one that stated that was claiming this man was a runner, bro. Again, that makes no sense, bro. George Kambosos, I don't think he thinks about the stuff that he says, bro. I think he just talks, bro. He can't. There's no way he can possibly think this stuff through. You can't think this stuff through, bro. I think that George Kambosos is one of the people that just talk. He just talks. He hears himself talks. He was talking about, I don't be getting this. And this is stuff that fighters be saying that I never got, bro. I never understood this. One of the things he was saying about Devin Haney, I can see it in his eyes. He's afraid. He is scared. He's scared out of his mind. I see it in his. Bro, I really wish Devin Haney or somebody would just, okay, how do you see this? What do you see? How do you see this fear in his eyes? Can you please elaborate on that? What fear? How do you see the fear? Because last time that I checked, rest in peace Nipsey Hussle, last time that I checked, this dude said, Devin Haney was the one cheering you on to win. Devin Haney was the one that was pressing for this fight. Devin Haney was the one that signed that bogus contract. So how do you all of a sudden, where do you see any fear in Devin Haney's eyes? And like, where do you see? Can you please describe this, bro? How do you see this stuff? Like, when fighters say that, oh, I can see it in his eyes, he's afraid. Like, how, bro? Like, what do you see? Like, what? I don't get it. That always like kind of just what? How do you see this fear? Where is this fear at? Because I just see a regular dude, another fighter looking at you while you're talking and not paying no attention. But for some reason, you can just see this fear on his face that I just like. Can you elaborate on that? Okay, like that didn't make sense either. That goes with the ton of crazy things that George Kambosos says. And then finally, he said he thought the fight was close. Okay, so initially, what I have learned is when you have a fighter going into somebody's backyard, however many rounds you think he's gonna win, you gotta double it because he is in his backyard, right? If you go on my stories, check my stories, I stated I got Devin Haney winning 8-4 because I really felt like Devin Haney could have won 10-2, but you got to double it. They're gonna find more rounds to give George Kambosos, and that's exactly what two of the judges scored: 116-112. That's 8-4. All right, but that fight was not close. So stop the cap, man. Stop the cap, Mr. George. All right, they got a rematch coming up. I think George said sometime in November. Guess we looking forward to that. But I kind of see the same thing, the same outcome. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Have you heard just the crazy, outlandish, dumb things that George Kambosos says, let me know. Drop it in the comment section. But what do I know? So just as soon as I end the video, bro, I cannot make this up. As soon as I end the video, I get on my page and I seen this, bro. From what I've been told, I outlanded him, I outpunched him. You saw the fight. So this now adds to the collection of dumb things that George Kambosos says. I'm gonna just sit this here, let y'all. Bro, comment your opinion on this guy, bro.